Hi everyone, so you might be a returning viewer from the first video I did like this, which is where I talked about some vintage denim. We're going to talk about jewelry today, and by the way, I didn't mention it in the denim video, but these are not scripted, it's just me talking, so if I stutter or have breaks in my sentences, like what just happened, that's the reason why, so please excuse that. But we are starting with this pendant here. It is a Greek/Roman style pendant, like a tile style pendant that is at least 200 years old. And then we move into the Edwardian era. I am showing lots of different types of jewelry in this video, but at the end of the day, they are still somewhat catered to my taste because I did collect all these photos, so be aware of that. This is definitely inspired by the Birth of Venus. You can see she's standing in the shell there, and the frame around this cameo, that's what these types of pendants are called, cameos. You see on the top there that shell motif continued, and then a flower at the bottom. It's very, very gorgeous. And then this one is extra special because it is a cameo necklace that is wearing its own necklace. You can see there are holes in there where it is threaded across the neck. Moving on, we have another cameo here that has a clock attached to it. And it appears to be right side up, meaning that the wearer, if they look down, they will see it upside down, and if they look in a mirror, it will be flipped. So the clock that is there is not for the person wearing it to tell time, it is for everyone around them, which makes me think that the person who bought it and or the person that designed this was probably tired of being asked for the time, and this was the solution. We have a really nice cameo here featuring 3 ladies, and this is also a Edwardian style. It's got some of that Art Deco starting to creep in there. We all know that in the 1920s that exploded, but it did start to begin in the Edwardian. And a lot of these types of pendants have pearls, but not all of them. Some of them feature different types of gemstones, and these types of pendants come in different sizes, and you can also find reproductions and necklaces inspired by this style for sale on Etsy and stuff. You can buy original pendants and also reproductions on websites like Etsy. I do like the color scheme of this one. This one's a little bit more of a darker color scheme than some of the other ones that I've seen. So we got one here that has a really nice purple gem in the middle there, probably amethyst. And the bejeweled pieces here, I think, are pearl. Under certain lighting, it's hard to tell with some of them whether they are regular pearls or blue pearls. And then we've got a much smaller one here with what looks like perhaps a diamond. This one is very interesting, the sort of geometric shape and the odd placements of the, I think this is onyx, and you've got, I think this is a peacock, or some other type of bird. This is an absolute showstopper. I think this is a brooch but either way, the sun rays coming off of the eye, that's very, like, you might see this in artwork from the silent era. And I think that's a bird flying above, a smaller bird flying above the swan here, and you've got some shells here with some bedazzling, just really lovely. And I think this stone or crystal is a carnelian. This is also a carnelian. This is another nice sort of Art Deco style pendant. And these are carved carnelian necklaces from the Edwardian era. Very nice. And this, I'm not totally sure on that stone. I think it might be jade is the name, I think. But I love how the gold here is made to be the buckle around the book, and that's attached right into the loop here. That's really nice. And this is a locket that is in the shape of a book. And this locket is a coffin. A really nice coffin with some floral design on the outside there. So this is a First World War beaded snake created by Turkish prisoners when they were imprisoned by the British. A lot of the Turkish prisoners made these, and some of them even have the year on the belly of the snake. A lot of them also don't, and there are also lots of modern reproductions of these that you can find, but because they're beaded, they are very fragile. So this, I love this pin because that is a Borzoi, which is one of my favorite dogs, other than Afghan hounds. And she's a very fancy lady, so I relate to this pin quite a lot. This is probably from the 1920s, if I had to guess. As are these. Those are actually shoe clips, I believe. I don't know if shoe clips necessarily count as jewelry, but I included them. This is a very unique pendant. It might also be a clip or a brooch, but I do like the scenery here with the deer and then that almost floral motif continuing on the sides there. So this is celluloid, which started becoming popular in the 1930s, very popular in the 1940s, and continued to be popular to my knowledge through the 50s as well, but a lot of these pieces you'll find are from the 1940s, and this is a nice matching set. I don't think this is celluloid. I think this is some type of material that's been carved into, so it might be some kind of rock, I think, but this is a very, very nice piece. So these are, I forget the name, but it's like a clip that you put on one side of your collar and one on the other side, and it's got that, that beach theme to it. Very nice. This is a celluloid brooch from the 1940s. And this is I think this might, yeah, this is a brooch as well. There was one in here that was, oh, this one, yes, so this is a little brooch, celluloid brooch from the 1940s as well, but this one is a children's brooch, which I think is cool. So this is a pendant, and it is a house that also has the interior. So you can see the hinge here where it would open, and in the next photo, that is the interior. And I like how the interior of it actually has some color to it, and it is not just a complete gold color on the outside. I originally saw this on Instagram, and the description said that it was from the 1950s, I believe. So now we are heading into the Damascene, which is a style of jewelry. So this pattern you see on top of this sword brooch here, that is a Damascene type of pattern. And you can find lots of Damascene brooches, rings, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, and you can find them in the shapes of different animals. So that's a lizard. And then we have a Damascene mouse here that also has some type of stone. That might be blue howlite. I'm not totally sure. And this lovely dragonfly Damascene brooch. And these butterfly Damascene earrings. And this Damascene lobster with what might be a real or fake pearl in the middle. I'm not enough of an expert on this stuff to be able to tell real stuff from the fake stuff sometimes, so please excuse that. We have a beetle here with another pearl sticking out. And a fish. It doesn't look happy, but it is a very nice Damascene fish. And Damascene fans are very popular. That is an earring set, the rest are brooches. And this is a very nice horse and carriage brooch. So this is a sort of Damascene style bracelet, but it's got some East Asian imagery on it. Very lovely. So this is a music box pendant. And this one has some Greek/Roman style vases over top. And then this one has a East Asian style building. I'm so sorry, I don't know what style of house this is specifically, like which East Asian country. So I'm so sorry. Please let me know in the comments. And that's the little wind up for the music on the back there. So this brooch is not a specific style of jewelry, but I included it here because it has the RCA dog on it, which was the mascot for the RCA company which produced gramophones. And yes, I call it a gramophone, not a phonograph, and I'm not going to stop calling it a gramophone, so deal with it. So this is a style of jewelry called cloison. So those flowers there with those shades of purple and blue, you'll find that a lot with cloison style stuff. Now this is a very, very interesting, unique necklace that was available on Etsy and then it sold, so congrats to whoever bought this. But it is a necklace/pendant. The listing said that it was from the 1970s. It looks much older than that, if I'm being honest. But again, I'm not an expert, so I don't know. But it looks like a stained glass window / outer architecture of Gothic buildings inspired piece. It is very unique. This is one of the jewelry pieces in this video that if I if I had a lot of money, this is one of the ones that I would have recreated because I think that it just looks so incredible. So this is a bangle style bracelet from the 1980s, and it has that really lovely soft pastel colors that were very on trend for the 80s, and a little bit of gold outlining there. So yeah, we fully headed into the 80s now, by the way. That was the introduction, and you've got this really nice bird and heart brooch here. Very nice bright colors, which is also super 80s. You have this very abstract brooch here, where there's this overlayer of metallic on the eye, the lips, and the ear. And you've got this sort of cut up, almost like a slinky, kind of spirally look. So this little boat, this brooch, is a sneak peek into what we're about to get into, which is swirl style jewelry that has this sort of water marble kind of effect to it. This is a more toned down version of it because it's pretty much just gray with this little butterfly pendant. And this is an example of how the 80s were very inspired by Art Deco. Like, Art Deco started to come back a little bit in the 80s, and you could definitely see that in things like this brooch. And this one as well. This is like very, very unique and geometric. Definitely something you wouldn't necessarily see now. And this is a very nice, this is probably fake, whatever crystal this is trying to imitate, but it is a very nice pair of earrings that does look a little Art Deco. And color blocking, that was also a huge thing in the 80s, so these color block earrings I knew right away without even having to look at the description of the listing. Geometric shapes, very 80s. These purple earrings I've seen in this exact shape with many other colors on vintage jewelry shops. And the hoops. Yeah, hoops made a huge comeback like in the 90s, but in the late 80s you did start to see that creeping through. They weren't very big hoops, but they definitely were starting to come back, evident by this pair. So now we're getting into the swirl earrings. So this is a pair that has some gold outlines in between the swirly shapes. And this one is very abstract, very sort of artistic, you know, like what you would see in sort of the backgrounds of wallpapers and stuff from the decade. Now this is a true swirl style that you'll see in a lot of 80s jewelry, and they come in lots of different colors as well. You can see that this is much brighter and the earrings are in a slightly different shape. And then this is sort of a similar effect, but it's a little bit more reserved with just those three colors. And then this is that water marble effect, that swirl effect, but with much darker colors. And then this is just black, white, and gray, much more casual. And then this heads back into the really colorful. And then this was a set, so I took the picture because I wanted to show this. Once again, that kind of swirl pattern, but with some nice gold lining there, lines there to break it up. And then you have a uber pastel one, but then it's also got that gold element. These are very, very subtle. Just that little bit of orange in the cream. Very nice. And then this is another kind of peachy, again with the gold breaking it up there. And this is also kind of peachy, but it's got a little bit more pink in there. That's a little bit more simplified with just some silver down the midsection. And then this is a really nice artistic combination of a recognizable item like flowers, incorporating that swirl style into the petals. And this looks kind of watercolor as well, but without the swirl effect. And those are some really nice hoops with some sort of gold crackle effect throughout. And this is a ring in that same swirl style. And a necklace in that style. Although a lot of the pieces that I've seen with that style were earrings, this is evidence that you could also get necklaces. This is very funny. This is a brooch from the 90s with a 90s computer, and the "You've got mail." So we're back to the cloison style. This is a vase pendant. Very lovely. And this is a cloison egg. Egg jewelry is actually more common when it comes to vintage and antique jewelry than you might think. I'm trying to remember why. I think it's because eggs symbolize like rebirth or something like that. I don't know. This is a cloison teapot. That's pretty unique. This is a cloison fish. That's very gorgeous. I would wear that. I would wear this pendant. That's very nice. And it's also articulated, so you can move it around. And then we have two other examples of cloison fish. And that is the last photo. So I hope that you enjoyed the collection of jewelry pieces that I showed off. Like I said at the beginning, this is kind of geared towards my taste, although I did try to show a wide variety. There are definitely lots of trends that I skipped over here, especially because I tend to show things from the late Victorian or starting with the Edwardian up until the 1990s usually when I'm discussing vintage stuff. Or discussing fashion, so anything more recent or anything older than Victorian, I tend to not really talk about because I just don't have a lot of knowledge on it, or interest, if I'm being honest. So, but I do hope that you like the things that I have shown you that happen to be geared toward where my interests lie in jewelry, and for the other videos like this for whatever the subject is. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.